My name is Sally. This is Reverse Reset Restore. Now, in this it's a taster of an episode rather than a full episode. And I'm saying that because it's just going to be a couple of poems. And the reason for me doing a couple of poems today is because I've been inspired by the book, The Body Is Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor. Now, Sonia shares this particular poem in her book, and it's called My Mother's Belly. It's a really beautiful expression of love and adoration for the amazing capacity that a woman's body uses to birth us into the world, and it's a celebration of that experience. I really want you to be present with her poem. I will be reading it again in the Foundation Friday episode of The Body Is Not an Apology. And then I thought, since I'm here and I'm going to record this poem anyway, I might as well share one of my own. Be brave, Sally. And this is definitely not to put me on the same level as this masterful poet that Sonia Renee Taylor is. But this is a poem that was also birthed from an idea about what it means to be a mother. It was a poem that was created when a friend of mine approached me with the news that her mother was passing away. And she wanted to get out for herself how that relationship had been, because it had not been a good or healthy relationship her entire life, and there was a lot of damage that had been done. So this poem also talks about a mother's body, and it's a very different sort of look and perspective from both the mothers and the children in these poems. So hopefully you find that interesting. I'm going to read Sonia's beautiful poem first, and then I'll go ahead and read mine. It actually doesn't have a title, my one, so if you hear it and you think, oh my gosh, this should be called that, let me know by going over and seeking me out in our social media. We are pretty much everywhere. Reverse Reset Restore, which is on Facebook, it's on Instagram, Threads, you name it, we're probably there. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on either or both of these poems, or if you've got another poem that's about mothers and mothers' bodies that you think would be wonderful to share, I'd love to hear that too. So here we go, let's get into it. I'm gonna let the poems do their thing now. My mother's belly. The bread of her waist, a loaf I would knead with 8-year-old palms sweaty from play. My brother and I marvelled at the ridges and grooves, how they would summit at her navel, how her belly looked like a walnut, how we were once seeds that resided inside. We giggled, my brother and I, when she would recline on the couch, lift her shirt, let her belly spread like cake butter in a pan. It was as much a treat as licking the sweet from electric mixers on birthdays. The undulating of my mother's belly was not a shame she hid from her children. She knew we came from this. Her belly was a gift we kept passing between us. It was both hers, of her body, and ours for having made it new, different. Her belly was an altar of flesh built in remembrance of us, by us. What remains of my mother's belly resides in a container of ashes I keep in a closet. Every once and again I open the box, sift through the fine crystals with palms that were once 8. Feel the grooves and ridges that do not summit now but rill through fingers. Granules so much more salt than sweet today. And yet still I marvel at her once body, even in this form say, I come from this. Woven from sacred space, knitted together from within. Nestled under your heart, you carried me, a perfect blend of shared beats. You labored me into existence, held me in your arms, and for a finite moment, the world was just you and me. A moment of connection where only love existed. spoken in soft tones, and I was yours, and you were mine, and the slate was clean. But life had already shaded you, swamped you with all its sore points, and robbed your peace, so that who you were and what had happened to you became one and the same. And your pain became my suffering, and I could not distinguish between your love and your hate. Your arms no longer a sanctuary, but my despair. And the gulf between us widened in jagged strips, and the words, I love you, got lost on my lips, or swallowed down in an act of self-preservation, though my heart still calls out your name. And I wonder what we might have been if we weren't so irrevocably broken. And now time has beaten us, has thrown down its gauntlet, and I can't get you back. Or get back the years the locusts have stolen, nor the rampant wasteland of my youth. Stuck in the here and now and what is. If we could stop this march or hasten its retreat so that we could scratch out all the ugly bits, the bitter shallows of our past, and find ourselves again. But life has already shaded us, and there is no more time for tomorrow, and there is no going back. There is only this carousel of love and confusion and love and despair and love and hate. And as time ran away from us, I held you in my arms, and for a finite moment, the world was just you and me. A moment of connection where only love existed, spoken in soft tones. And I was yours, and you were mine, and the slate was clean. Be sure to listen in to the Foundation Friday episode of The Body Is Not an Apology, reviewing that beautiful, amazing book to give courage and strength and empower you to be proud of who you are, where you're at right now.